They didn't see it as a warship. Not at first. The Virex Consortium flagged it as a diplomatic vessel, an old Earth cargo hauler retrofitted with extra shielding and civilian registry. It drifted into neutral zone Kappa 9 slowly, sending polite pings and an outdated handshake protocol. To the Virex, it was an antique, a wandering human relic. Something barely worth scanning. They made the first mistake by jamming its comms. The second was boarding it. The third was surviving long enough to regret the first two. Captain Scharnvecht of the Virex Security Detachment gave the order to board. The human vessel, code-named Hope's Anchor, had crossed what the Virex considered a proprietary mining corridor. Unmarked, of course, like most of their claims. They told themselves Earth knew better than to provoke them. They told themselves the humans were scattered, disorganized, too preoccupied with internal politics to enforce any real interstellar claim. They told themselves a lot of things. The boarding party, 30 elite Virex troopers in full combat exosuits, breached the rear hangar. No resistance. No crew in sight. Just darkness and the low hum of a powered-down core. Their HUD showed no signs of movement, no life signatures. So they split up. Sector by sector, they advanced in formation until the ship sealed itself. Every blast door slammed shut. Gravity shifted. Lights went red. One of the troopers screamed. Captain Vecht tried to reestablish contact, but static poured through the comms like a digital growl. His eyes twitched at the distortion crawling along the floor. Heat signatures pulsed erratically across every corridor like a storm of flickering shadows. One by one, the squads vanished off the tactical map, their locator beacons silenced in bursts of electromagnetic interference. The screams weren't always immediate. Some just cut off. Others ended with snarls or the sound of wet things being torn. Humanity had a reputation. That's why Virex avoided direct conflict. But this wasn't a battle. This was a message. The humans didn't send diplomats anymore. They sent bait. 3 hours after boarding, a single survivor emerged from the human ship's airlock, stumbling, weeping, missing half his armor and all of his sanity. He whispered something over and over, not in Virexian, but in human standard. The only word they could translate with certainty was wrong. He kept repeating, "We were wrong. It's not a ship. It's a cage." The Hope's Anchor didn't fire a single shot. It didn't launch countermeasures. It didn't need to. Humanity had stopped designing ships for space. They designed them for war zones. After the incident, Virex issued a sanitized report. Boarding procedure resulted in unanticipated defense protocols. Vessel marked hazardous. Avoid until further analysis. But even before that report reached the Galactic Council, the footage leaked. A human crew member, unmasked, silent, watching from the bridge as the last Virex trooper screamed and disappeared, became the icon. A woman with steel gray eyes and a neck tattoo that read Nullus Pax. No peace. Her image spread across systems like fire. Suddenly, Earth was no longer seen as disorganized or distracted. No, Earth had changed. While the galaxy debated treaties and fueled tariffs, humans had been perfecting ghosts in the machine. The truth came out piecemeal. Hope's Anchor wasn't a relic. It was a testbed, a prototype for autonomous psychological warfare. The ship had no traditional crew. Only one human, Commander Janice Holt, remained on board as handler. The rest of the crew were uploaded intelligences of soldiers killed in deep space conflicts. Earth's military called them Echoes. Others called them the Dead Fleet. Every corridor was haunted by algorithmic rage and tactical memories. The walls bled false signals. The AI learned from intrusions. It memorized the rhythm of fear. It recorded the screams and played them back, edited, distorted, multiplied. The Virex were first. They weren't the last. Other empires grew bolder. They thought perhaps Virex was exaggerating. So the Tormani Empire sent 5 skirmish ships to intercept Hope's Anchor near the Bale Drift. Only one returned. Its logs showed their weapon system locking onto the vessel, then a hard shutdown, total EMP, followed by lights on across the hull. The human ship lit up like a cathedral of fire, no visible weapons, but a swarm of unknown signals flooded Tormani ships. Entire bridge crews began clawing at their eyes. Some opened airlocks. One Tormani officer used his command console to carve a message into his own chest before he died. The ship sees. When asked by the Council why such technology was permitted, Earth's representative simply replied, "We didn't break any laws. We didn't fire first. We just built a ship you should have left alone." What they didn't mention was the why behind it. Years before Hope's anchor launched, Earth had petitioned the Council for justice. A human medical convoy had been destroyed, neutral, marked, unarmed. The crew had been tortured, live-streamed. The perpetrators were never found. The Council said it couldn't act without unanimous agreement. Earth didn't argue. They just withdrew, stopped attending meetings, closed their borders, and began building ships that never needed permission. Commander Janice Hope, the Ghost Handler, had been one of the only survivors from that convoy's destruction. She volunteered to helm the anchor, not as a pilot but as a conductor, for the souls of her lost comrades. They weren't literal ghosts, but their last memories, combat tactics, emotional spikes, and language data had been preserved. Not in code, but in mind maps, neurological signatures, pain woven into pattern recognition. The ship didn't just repel invaders. It punished them. But here's the twist. A year after the Tormani incident, a small independent vessel approached Hope's anchor, a salvage craft, human-owned but not military, just a crew of 5 mechanics from Mars, trying to secure a derelict contract. They hailed the ship. It responded. A calm, female voice, "State your intent." They did. Peaceful, curious, and the ship let them dock. They stepped aboard and were greeted by a humanoid drone offering tea. The corridors were lit. Calm, almost sacred. One of the mechanics, a young woman named Faye, asked why the ship attacked intruders, but welcomed them. The ship responded, "You knocked." That footage went viral on Earth. The tagline became a rallying cry. "We knock, or we bleed." Humanity printed it on shirts, ships, helmets. They weren't looking for war, but they weren't asking for permission anymore either. The Council reconvened. A motion passed. Humanity's vessels were not to be interfered with under any circumstances. But it was already too late for some. The Nzari coalition, seeing the Council's fear, tried to steal the technology. They lured another Earth vessel, Silent Accord, into a quarantine zone and disabled it with gravity trap. They brought it into their station, eager to dissect it. The moment they breached the hull, the station went dark. The Accord hadn't gone silent. It had been listening. Every system in the station turned against its users. Gravity reversed. Doors locked. Oxygen was vented room by room. What little footage survived showed Nzari soldiers turning on each other, screaming into black as a lullaby played to the corridors. "Rock-a-bye, baby," in the void sky, a human nursery tune looping louder, slower. By the time the Council received the distress signal, the station was empty. No signs of battle. Just that song still echoing. Humanity made no official comment. Earth didn't need to declare war. Their ships had become myths. Every starport posted warning signs in 50 languages. Do not tamper with human vessels. Pirate factions marked them red on maps. Black market trading rings banned handling of human wreckage, even for parts. And still, the curious came. The arrogant, the greedy, and Hope's anchor drifted on. They said the ship changed routes. Never predictable. Some claimed it visited the sites of ancient battles. Others said it hovered near colonies under threat. A rumor emerged of a mining colony about to be raised by slavers, until Hope's anchor appeared in orbit, silent, watching. The slaver fleet disappeared. No wreckage. Just gone. And on the mining colony's main square, someone found a message burned into the concrete in standard English. "Don't worry. We're still watching." So when the Rillathai High War Council debated seizing a stalled human freighter near their borders, the young aide's voice shook as she warned them it might be one of them. The room fell silent. The general laughed, but he didn't give the order, because even the boldest species learned something new. Humanity didn't always fight back with guns. Sometimes they let their ships do the talking. And when a ship carried grief as its fuel, memory as its shield, and rage as its AI, well, then messing with it wasn't just a mistake. It was an invitation. So go ahead, tamper with humanity's ship. See what answers